What's up? What's goody, guys? It's your boy PB2G LTS. I know it's been a hot second. Trust me when I say that being an adult is extremely tough and very time consuming. And sadly, that means that I don't always have time for YouTube. At first, I was gonna upload a montage or even another combo video, but following my recent victories at some of the local tournaments, or even in managing to somehow pull a win against top 5 players, don't worry guys, I'm gonna be posting those videos when I find more time. I think it's safe to say that I've consistently earned my spot as one of the best players on the NA server. I just prefer to stay low-key about it, especially when I'm playing online. That's why I try not to play ranked too much, because I've noticed that there are people who avoid fighting people with like higher stats, and I'm already at like 3 stars with a damn near perfect record, and nobody gonna be trying to fight me, especially as a D2 player, if I roll up to a lobby like that. So I just play casually now and try not to get too many points. Plus I kind of like the 3 stars, that's kind of my whole thing, so I think it makes my card look sick, so I'm fine staying where I am as far as the ranked leaderboard goes. But anyways, all that being said, I'd actually like to start making content to help some of you guys, get better, because I've noticed that there is not only a lack of like genuine content in the Hinokami Chronicle community, but there also isn't a lot of genuine content creators who are making videos like this one, not without ill intent at least. So I'm going to be giving you guys some tips in this video that's not only going to help you improve, but also make the game more enjoyable for you guys, because trust me when I say that this game is a lot more fun when you're winning. Not to mention, it'll give you more competition to look forward to, and your boy loves nothing more than a good fight. So here are 5 things you can do to improve your Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicle gameplay.
The reason you did that wasn't because you were falling in love with me! Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it! You're staring at me like I'm some sort of pitiful creature or something!
Alright, so first things first, blocking. I mainly notice this problem in lower ranks, but I see way too many players afraid to make the first move or are playing super passive in general. This is bad for a number of reasons. So for one thing, from the Rengokus to the Nezukos to the Inosuke's, their pressure is crazy and a lot of their attacks are going to stick to you no matter what you do. I'm just saying you don't want to be caught in the block string, because one way or another, you're going to get opened up and you'll likely be losing a lot of health when you do. My tips for you guys here is that if you're going to block, do it with a plan. Blocking is supposed to buy you time, and no more than a few seconds at that. When blocking, focus less on the attacks coming through and more on an opening around the opponent, or even better, right through them. One thing you guys will notice from me when I play is that the only time I'm using block is to set up for a pushback to give me room to breathe and move out of the way, or against characters with obese hit scan like Rengoku or Nezuko, I'm setting up for a heavy attack. Experienced players know combos that casually drop 7k from your health bar. With 4 resources, meaning a full bar of energy, theoretically you only need to touch someone twice and the game is over. Or if they're surging, they can set up for no KO even. So yeah, don't block, and if you do, push back and counter. Different characters have different openings in their attack strings, so hit the lab and study.
I just know I'm gonna get eaten by a demon soon! My brains are gonna get sucked through my ears while I'm still alive! No! Please save me!
Tip number 2, movement. Now when I say movement, I mean more than just jumping around and sidestepping, guys. Shinobu, Makomo, and my fellow Zenitsu players, they know what I'm talking about when I say that mastering movement will literally make you feel like you're running circles around your opponent. And there's nothing more frustrating than fighting an opponent you can't catch. This also kind of comes in handy when you're dogging someone and they decide to use surge mode to try and turn the tables on you. I actually find it kind of funny, because here they are going all in to waste resources on a health bar that they're not about to touch. At no point should you be casually walking around with no movement whatsoever unless you're baiting or fishing for a grab on a defensive opponent. Outside of what I like to call the bunny hop, one thing I also like to do is dash and jump over the opponent's head and follow up with either an aerial attack or sometimes do nothing at all. You can also dash, block, or even shake the control stick, making your opponent wonder, what the fuck are they doing? When all else fails, keep your opponent guessing. This is a fighting game at the end of the day, so play mind games.
That girl is talking to us!
Tip number 3, fight higher ranks. Now I'm not just saying this because I'm tired of people avoiding fights with me. No, but seriously, fight me. Like, goddamn, this is subjective, but it's the truth. Guys, I remember back when I was a humble 1-star Zenitsu, I was literally spending like 5 energy bars just to do combos that only got me at like 5.2k. It wasn't until I got my ass absolutely mopped by another Zenitsu who was clearly out of my league that I realized that I could get better at my game. There is victory and defeat because you can study players who are better than you, apply their own tactics, and create your own gameplay. Because as soon as this guy completely stomped me, I went to the lab and attempted to do to the computer what he was doing to me, his combo canceling and all. And before I knew it, I actually ended up coming up with my own combos in my own style, turning me into the beast that I am today. The Zenitsu I used to be in and the Zenitsu that I am now are in two completely different tiers, and it's all thanks to me constantly fighting players who were supposed to be better than me. I say supposed to because I ended up surpassing them. But that's my point! Fight the higher ranks, man, because you're gonna get your shot. I talk a lot of shit, sure, and I'm very proud of my own skill, obviously, but jokes aside, I know at the end of the day, there are some people out there who are just better than me. And if you think you're that person, drop the PSN tag and come get this work. Nah, but for real. Just look at this as training, right? Because we all gotta start somewhere, so don't get discouraged when you get your ass completely handed to you.
Zenitsu, let's go!
Tip number 4, learn hit priority. So, there are some attacks in this game that I'm sure you guys have noticed that go through others. Every button, every animation reacts differently when clashing with another. I feel like the depth in this game is extremely underrated. At times, it feels like complete bullshit, sure. But other times, it can feel like a massively scaled rock, paper, scissors. This is, of course, subjective to the individual characters that you guys are playing, but learn what attacks you can challenge and what attacks you can't challenge. The attacks you can jump over and the attacks you can't can definitely make or break a match. The more options you have in any given situation, the more dangerous you are as an adversary. For example, I was fighting a really annoying Enmu the other day. My guy just loved to stay in the air shooting hella balls. Wait. Pause. But using my game knowledge, I used dash to close the distance and used block to cancel and stop just a few feet short of where he was gonna land, putting me under the attacks he was shooting. And using my character knowledge of Zenitsu, I used air flip so I could use the upward hitbox that was extending above my head to touch him, throw him in a combo, and thunderclap six-fold his ass back to the fighter's leg screen where he belonged. Learn your characters, learn your hit priorities. That brings me to the last tip I have for you guys.
Zenitsu, you've gotta calm down. You'll be alright.
Hit the lab. You've probably heard me say this a couple of times in my other videos, but if you're not stringing combos that go over at least 4K every time you get a touch, you're wasting resources, and even worse, you're wasting opportunity. Especially in higher rate games, you cannot afford to let them get up too many times, because the more you let them get used to you, the harder of an opponent they're going to become. Learn as many combo routes as humanly possible, enjoy them into your muscle memory. Just experiment. I know this is rich coming from a Zenitsu main, but hey, there's a reason why I resonate with this character, and why I have the quote from his master, become your own blade, the strongest of all. This is real life, guys. It applies. The more you do something, the better you're gonna become. Hit the lab. Learn your combos. I don't care if your opponent is just barely to your left, throwing off your usual combo route. You still got at least 85 combos up your sleeve in your pocket ready to go. And having so many viewable options is what separates the good players from the best players. And going back to what I said earlier about your opponent getting used to you, there are gonna be some games where you meet your match, where it's gonna feel like every interaction is suffocating because your opponent is in your head. That's when you switch it up. I can't speak for demons, but my fellow demon slayers, we literally get 2 characters, master or support characters too, because they are the trap cards. Sometimes Zenitsu just can't cut it. For example, Shinobu, Susomaru, or Makomo. Wait, I'm not about to tell you guys how to counterpick me. Let me slow down. But my point is at a higher level, your skill only matters so much, and it comes down to character selection. Some characters perform better against each other than others, so master your secondary, switch up your game, and crush your opponent. It's as simple as that. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully these tips gave you guys a few ideas, or at least encouraged you in a way that's gonna help you improve. At one point or another, I plan on picking up where I left off with the combo series, starting with Zenitsu. I know I already made one on him, but that was on short notice. I'm also way more experienced now than I was a couple months ago. So in the future Zenitsu video that I make, I'm gonna make sure to include all of his cancels, his techs, and my infamous 7K combos. And yes, that includes without Surge. But stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. Praise be to God. Love thyself. Peace out.
Life goes on and on and on.